Hello everybody and welcome back. I start with a clap. I want to explain what's happening, so everybody knows. So I am lazy. So we're not making a full route. This is the finale. The finale episodes are gonna be 1 hour each because I want to get this done. Pretty much just gonna be me skipping around, getting all I need to get. And there is a lot. And apparently, I have gotten on the route of Diana. Which I didn't mean to do. But I guess we'll survive. But yeah, just me skipping around, getting the cutscenes. Hopefully Diana's route's not too long. If I do like an hour each. I keep sniffling, I'm so sorry. But yeah. Then we're gonna move on to Seduce Me 2. Holy butts, where were we? Stop sniffling, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Oh, please. Alright, so instead of tissues, I got a paper towel. My nose will be raw in no time. I looked at Diana, feeling that she was up to something. She had her arms crossed, looking to me as if I owned her or something. As if I owned her? Oh, gosh. What?
Well, I don't exactly want you to leave this house with the memories you have. I'd be breaking the rules if I allowed that.
But we had a deal. You stay for a day, keep your memories until you leave. I still have school to go to, though.
Then skip school and stay home.
Thank you! What?
That, or I go with you.
Sniffling nose. What? Diana was crazy. Suggested go to school was practically signing a death wish. Everyone would ask about her. What would I tell everyone? That's crazy. Just like
I
you.
can't let you leave this house with those memories unless I'm with you. Rules are rules.
Oh, so I'm a babysitter now? What rules?
The rules of the world, sweetie.
Rules of the worlds. What's she talking about?
The rules applies to any magical being that lives in the human
Self-voicing
world.
disabled.
They were established on a day you humans might know as the birth date of Jesus Christ.
What? Oh. We're trying so hard right now. Oh, dear. Okay, let's see if that's settled. Wait, so does that mean Christianity is legitimate?
It's a story to some, a religious faith to others. I won't deny or prove a religion exists because that's a human matter. Magical beings, on the other hand, don't pay attention unless they're angels from the world of heaven.
Well, this got philosophical awful fast. My curiosity was pecking at my mind like a frantic bird. I wanted to know more. Diana was giving me answers, and I wanted to ask more questions. However, I had to go to school. I was conflicted.
Stay, and I'll tell you more of these rules.
And if I go?
Then I take your memories. Now.
I was trapped. There was no way I could bring Diana with me without some repercussion. If she took my memories now, I'd go back to school without remembering anything. However, if I stayed, I could learn more, but I'd miss school. I'll stay, thanks. Not gonna die. I bit my lip. Did I really want to stay? I could feel my fingers run over my phone and call up Naomi without even listening to the phone. I spoke into it. Mouse, please. Hey, girls, I'm feeling really sick. Don't worry about coming. It'll go over. Staying home. Get better. I hung up without even acknowledging Naomi and Suzu on the other end. Diana crossed her arms and waited for me to turn to her fully. I threw my back to the side and looked at Diana, ready to learn more. You going to tell me everything?
I'll do the best I can.
I walked up to Suzu with Diana behind me. I glanced into the dining room to see it already clean. Guess Diana used magic to clean up after us. I continued and wound up walking in my bedroom. I sat on the bed as Diana stood by the balcony window. It was just like last night. Ah, last night. So I can ask anything you answer,
I'll
right?
give you the best answers I can give.
I guess we'll have to settle with that. Knowing Diana could have been a white lie. She already had hidden some details, but I guess she had her reasons. However, I would need to know more than just details. The rules of the worlds. What are they?
They are the heart and soul of the human world, created and approved by all 5 worlds on the human date,
5?
December 25th.
There's 5? 5?
In human terms, there is the human world, heaven, purgatory, hell, and the abyss.
Purgatory? What are the rules in this agreement?
These rules dictate the behavior of otherworldly creatures in the human world. Without them, there would be constant war between angels and devils, while the vampires would try and enslave humanity.
Oh my gosh. We are hitting every anime and manga in the world here.
Demons are merely the watchers, but often the devils or vampires will try and coax them into joining them.
So we now know they're vampires. Oh gosh, turning into Twilight, isn't it? So angels and vampires exist too?
Yes. Angels are from heaven, watching over the human world with a careful eye. Vampires are from the human world, but pass on to purgatory before rebirth.
Purgatory. That sounds nice. I stared at my lap. This was all amazing, yet it wasn't satisfying my curiosity. Did I want to know more? Did I want to know just about demons? This was all a huge deal, and I felt both overwhelmed. I felt both over and overwhelmed. What? So, these rules have rules over humans. Humans can't know about the magic at all?
Correct. Humans, to the angels, need to remain pure and innocent. So they dictated that humans cannot know of the other worlds or of other beings. The rest of us agreed. Only a select few are allowed to know the truth about us.
But that's hardly fair, isn't it?
Well, take a look at yourself. You're barely proficient with magic. Your kind is too focused on who will fight the next war or who will screw the next person.
True!
I'm sorry to admit this, but humans are the weakest race in the planes of existence.
Ouch.
The only ones who truly protect you are angels.
I felt angry that she made humans sound so inferior, yet it's true. Yeah, we had our faults, but it wasn't like any of our races were better, right? There was no way humans were the inferior race. Well, we're not inferior.
Oh, you're not now? Really?
I can argue. Diana stared at me, looking up and down before smirking a bit.
Let's go on a little trip, shall we?
I don't want to. Are we going to space? Because I can't breathe there. Raised an eyebrow. What was she on about? First she wanted me to stay here, and now she wanted to go out? What was with this girl? Before I could protest, the world began to spin around me. Of course! Going on another LSD trip. Forcing me to jump up and Hang on, chica. Grab on Diana as she held me as the room spun practically out of control. My fear escalated, and I buried my face in her shoulder, wanting it to stop. If she was trying to prove a scary point, it was working. Were we in an office? I felt the world slow down around me and soon come to a halt. I didn't want to look, but gently Diana pushed me away from her body for me to look around. I guess when I realized I was in a business office. What's going on? What?
Just a simple business office. Nothing more.
Okay. I looked around and felt the air of familiarity in the room. I couldn't figure out why, but my brain kept me aware that I knew this place somehow. I can't read it. I didn't get to think on it long. Suddenly, a group of businessmen entered the room, stopping outside Diana and me. Oh.
Who are you two?
You sound like a dork! I froze. What was going to happen? Were we going to get thrown out and get in trouble? I would never be allowed out again. This was my mild nightmare. Diana's giggle stopped at my thoughts. I looked up to see her smirking at the group of men, a hand already on her lips.
Why, do you not know who we are? For shame, for shame.
Diana guided me to a chair and sat down before sitting on the table. I practically turned around as Diana hiked her dress to where her entire leg slipped out from the slit. She crossed her legs and tossed her hair gently.
We are your employers. This lovely lady is the CEO of the company.
I am not!
Her personal secretary. You men, however, are late.
I am ripping paper towels. I would like to disagree with this little statement. Diana, are you okay? I'm a little worried. I stared at Diana as she stared down at the group of men like a tigress. Wow! On her prey. The group collectively began to shuffle in nervousness, surprising me. Were they really believing her lie now? Diana smiled and lifted her leg slightly, making the men lean in for a possible panty shot. I couldn't help but feel both stunned and slightly jealous.
One of you needs to come over here and kiss my foot as an apology.
Rude! What? I looked at Diana's foot, seeing it gently bob in slight impatience. She was seriously going to make one of them kiss her foot. They obviously couldn't be that enthralled with her enough to stoop so low. I let my thoughts become distorted as I watched a man step out from the group nervously and get on his knees in front of Diana. As he gently cradled her foot in his hands, I tensed and held my breath. No way! The man gently kissed over Diana's foot, making almost a sluttery sigh. Sluttery sigh. That phrase I shall use often. It escaped her lips and sent a shiver down my spine. Diana smirked and leaned back on her hands, looking down at the man before her.
My ankle next.
This got weird quickly. Like an obedient servant, the man traveled skits up her ankle as Diana let her head fall back on the side. What are you doing?
Proving to you how weak the human mind is.
I'm really sure they haven't trained themselves to do this every day. Diana raised a hand above her and snapped her fingers, causing the group of ogling men that remained to straighten up like an army at attention. I felt myself tense and catch my breath in response. The Molian is on, and I'm nervous. If I get a message, oh dear. I felt myself tense and catch my breath in response, but I couldn't feel any power over me.
Water, a massage, another kiss.
With each command, a man would separate from the group and fulfill it obediently. I watched as each man became practically a slave to her whim. Diana closed her eyes and let a pleasure hum, making my spine tingle again. For some reason, this irritated me beyond belief. Watching these poor men be so degraded. Watching her be pampered by enthralled men made something in my chest crawl in my chest. Same thing. Something dark. I wanted to stop. That's enough. These poor boys. Diana and the men around her suddenly looked at me. Diana was a little surprised, but then slightly smirked.
Oh my. Is someone a little jealous?
No. It's not like that. Just stop it. You've proven your point. Diana chuckled, making me wince. Would she stop? She wasn't obedient like the boys, so who knew with her? She then snapped her fingers, surprising me and forcing the men around her to huddle together, where they were previously. I
have proven my point, haven't I? Oh, well. I guess I got a little carried away.
You're too into this voice acting. Diana rang a I gotta calm down. Diana ran a finger over her lower lip and giggled at my face, though. What?
You're adorable when you're jealous.
I am not! My face turned red instantly and I covered my cheeks, glaring at Diana. She giggled again before snapping her fingers and making the room around us fade into darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. A mere breath later, we were back in my bedroom with both of us on my bed. Diana stretched her arm up and smiled at me.
So, now do you understand the vulnerability of humanity?
I understand that you're really mean. I gritted my teeth. Humans weren't as weak as she claimed. I couldn't believe it. Just because What is wrong with me today? Just because we were weak didn't mean that we couldn't know about those who were supposedly more powerful than us. I glared at Diana. That justifies ignorance? How does that justify ignorance?
Ignorance is the only safety humans get to have. If humans were to know about us, do you know what kind of chaos would occur?
No? For once I felt scared. Diana's eyes were cold as ice as she stared into my soul, practically giving me the frightening feeling of the future. I questioned.
There are already wars in the human world being fought amongst yourselves. Equality, dominance,
True.
Power.
True.
The human world is practically the image of self-chaos.
True.
Innocent blood is spilled every day in your world.
True.
Doesn't matter the color or creed you carry.
True. Okay, she has a point.
Big blood is spilt now. There will be much more if humans knew about otherworldly creatures. Our existences can destroy beliefs and human logic.
So pretty much you're saying the human world will destroy itself if we found out. Okay, you know what? I felt the world around me go dark as I stared at Diana. Sounds of screaming and battle raged around me, but I kept my eyes on the one person I could see. Was it an illusion? Was it this trick? Didn't feel like
Religions would crumble and civil wars would clash. Paranoia would be a constant in every human mind. And soon armies will rise up, trying to defend humanity without true knowledge of who we are and what we can do. Vampires would be forced to retaliate and build armies of their own, and trust me, they're not as friendly as the vampires in your human fiction.
Twilight!
Devils would have a heyday and wreak havoc, finally finding a collective weakness in the human world to exploit. Angels would have to come down and fight their devil rivals, and the human world would become their battlefield.
I could see the world Diana described flashing before my eyes. I could see humans screaming and fighting each other, trying to figure out who is what and being frightful with every blink. I imagined devils like Malix ravaging the cities and killing people with soldiers trying to fight back, failing and dying at every turn. The image was scary and I didn't know what to imagine. I shook my head, holding it in my hands before looking to Diana. My room had returned and Diana stared back at me. To my surprise, she had a concerned face.
The rules are to make sure that we all stay at peace. To have us all fighting at once would result in a massive cataclysm that would engulf everything and everyone, no matter what you were.
For once, she does have a very good point. Diana finally broke away from the gaze she held on me and stared at the far wall. I could see a look of fear rush through her eyes as she looked away from me. I almost felt sorry, but my confusion covered my concern.
Demons already have enough on our collective plates. We don't need to become the backlash victims of broken ignorance.
Damn. Jeez. Something in Diana's eyes made my heart almost hurt. I feel no pity. I feel no pity. Even though she wasn't looking at me, I could almost see all the emotions that ran in her mind. Just observing her eyes, I felt bad, terrible even, for questioning her as I did. I was only human, after all. However, I felt the need to comfort her. Something was going on and Diana was holding it back. Whether or not I learned more by comforting her almost didn't matter. I shall take your hand! I felt myself gently scoot closer to Diana before laying a hand on hers. I need a hug. Diana stared at me for a brief moment before shaking her head frantically and shutting her eyes tightly. A soft sigh escaped her lips before she looked again at me with almost new resolve.
I'm fine. I was merely trying to prove my points.
Got a little too into it, I'm just saying. Wow! Don't know what happened there. The day then became filled with Diana teaching me about magic. Even when the day ended, I needed to learn more. I began to crave it. I begged Diana to stay despite knowing our deal. Diana, despite promising to only stay a day, agreed to stay longer to tell me more. Soon days passed by, filled with lessons, examples of magic. Knowing that I would be missed at school, Diana quickly took care of making sure I wasn't missed. Using a simple spell, she called it, she created an illusion of me to go in my place. It was real to humans too, and acted just like me, but it was like a ghost to demons. I kinda wished I would remember that spell. She told me about vampires, creatures that looked just like humans who had inherent hierarchy. Hierarchy? I don't know. There are 4 types of vampires, but all of them were under oath by the rule of the world not to hunt humans. Well, that is comforting. It was strange and it felt like a fictional novel, but Diana promised that vampires were not like the books, thank God. They adapted to living with humans, creating a formula that allowed them to walk around during the day. That's unsettling. They even had a blood bank as currency and made synthetic blood to quench their thirst. Well, that's weird. They had real blood to drink, of course, but they got it either through hospital blood drives or black market means. It was all surreal. Devils were chaotic as Malix, but... Hiccup? Malix was, but they were all still under the command of a very powerful fallen angel, the Devil King, Satan! Whoever still had the heart of an angel, he was simply sitting in hell and waiting for the opening into the human world. I hoped it'd never come. Angels, on the other hand, were not as I expected. When I thought of angels, I imagined beautiful human-looking creatures with wings and halos.
I still wonder who spread that rumor.
Me too, because I heard they're very scary looking. Didn't explain that they actually looked monstrous. Each archetype of angel looked different, but Diana couldn't describe them all. The one that stood out the most with me was a seraphim. She described it as a mysterious creature and hid behind 3 large pairs of wings. What if seraphim did look like humans?
Well, anyone who has met a seraphim and tried to find out has not lived to spill the secret.
Goodness! So much for Tales of Hysteria, jeez. I gulped. It was scary to hear that for some reason. Angels were strict and were not as forgiving as many claimed. According to Diana, they had a love-hate relationship with humans, but they didn't try to dominate us. They only became mediators for the rule of the worlds. Why not?
I'd rather not get into that.
Thank God. Why?
It's not my place to talk about heaven. Only the angels.
She also mentioned their methods of memory removal. As the self-proclaimed guardians of the humans, they had the right to baptize, air quote, baptize, humans who held memories of otherworldly creatures they should find in any human world. This baptism not only erased memories of magic, but erased their entire memory clean. Humans wouldn't remember who they were or who they knew. The blank canvas. Demons, however, unlike the others, were passive creatures who only truly cared for their world. They had their own lands, kingdoms, and lords living there. The most powerful demon in Eagle's Plains was the Demon Lord. He was the incubi boy's father. It was a ruthless man. He had conquered several kingdoms with a massive, indestructible army. Many demons died under his brutality, and when they did conquer, life for demons was like human resistance. Something. I did not read that. Many feared what the land he would attack next. However, to everyone's surprise, the Demon Lord had tried to be peaceful with Diana's kingdom, as she was offered as a bride to one of his sons. Whew! I could not be a teacher. Why would you accept that?
I had no choice. I was barely a child when the decision was made, and when I learned of it, I had accepted it.
Why, though? Why would you know? How would you know if you would be in love with the guy whom you married?
It didn't matter. My kingdom would be safe, and I would be able to live with knowing I was able to protect my kingdom.
Oh. I stared at Diana as she smiled at me with sad eyes. She really didn't want to marry them. It was practically painted all over her face. Why am I being nice to her? Diana's face shifted to one of surprise as she looked at me. I was being honest, though. She shouldn't have to marry someone to protect my kingdom. A kingdom. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. It would be safe, yes, but you would be unhappy. Can you live with yourself knowing that?
I'd rather be unhappy than see my kingdom burn to the ground. Besides, as the bride of the next demon lord, I'd have the ability to change things. I could disband his armies, bring peace to the abyssal plains.
Is that all she really wanted? But what about love?
Love?
Love! Dana looked at her lap and sighed.
Love can't exist for me. I'm the most powerful succubus in the demon world. Anyone who would go after me would only be entranced by my power.
You got me! We're not doing this. Dana chuckled, making me blush a bit. I was being honest, and here she was laughing at my words. Thanks a bunch.
You're a human, dear. You can't know when I'm using my powers or not. I could be using them now, making you interested in me to trust me.
But you're not, are you? Dana then silenced herself. She stared at me, knowing that her silence would give me my answer. I smirked. You like me.
What?
Come on. You like me. You definitely like me.
I do not. I'm merely fulfilling my end of the deal.
Bull. Shit. I felt like a tease. She was being nice to me and wasn't using her powers over me because she likes me. It was too obvious. You like me. You like me. You like me. Hey. Hey. What I didn't expect was her taking my hand and forcing me closer to her. A mere inch separated our lips, but Diana stared at into my soul, made my mind go blank. I barely remembered what I was saying. What were we talking about? Diana remained holding me. I didn't fight. She stared into my soul, and I allowed it. I was concerned at the same time. I was intrigued. Diana was indeed a beautiful woman. Seeing her up close made my face turn slightly red in embarrassment. At any moment, she could lean in and kiss me. Maybe even take my energy. Oh, God. Whoever she didn't.
You are interesting for a human.
I know. I'm pretty cool. I forgot I wanted to do boop. Well, you know, anatomy. She didn't release me and stared at me, watching as I stared back at her with a red face. Did I like her? Oh, I can't do this seriously. I shook my head. No way, that was impossible. We were just in a business deal. Nothing more, nothing less.
Is there anything else you wanted to know?
Okay, was it not dark out just like 2 seconds ago? I stared at her as I thought, was there anything else I wanted to know? My memories were forfeit in the end, so everything was up for grabs. Yet I couldn't think of a single question to ask. Was that all I wished to know? No, there was nothing else I needed to know. I felt satisfied. Nope, that should be all.
I understand.
Diana stood and adjusted the bottom of her dress before smiling at me. I barely noticed how much time had passed between us. It felt like forever, yet I enjoyed learning more. I felt bad that I'd lose my memories, however. That was the deal, and according to Diana, demons could never go back on their word.
Well, if you don't mind, There's one place I need to visit, and I'd rather visit it now than after I take your memories. I'll be gone from the area for quite a while, anyway.
Where do you need to
A
stop?
cemetery. There's something I need to do there. It's boring, sadly, but I need to do it. You need to come with so I can watch you.
You're not gonna touch my grandfather, are you? What did she need to go to the cemetery? Why did she? Did she have a human friend she needed to say goodbye to? Did she have to meet with another demon? Sure,
No need to get dressed up. It's just a brief visit.
Diana snapped her fingers. The world melted into black. I stood and walked to be beside Diana, unsure what was happening. Why wasn't the world spinning instead? Was the spinning a trick she did? Put myself click my teeth. An irritation of the thought. Soon the world grew back its colors. My reading today, I am so sorry. And we were standing in a field I somehow recognized. I looked down and regretted it. I knew it! Why though? Did he get you here too, Grandpa? At her feet was grandfather's gravestone. It was untouched and as clean as when I last remembered seeing it. Why were we here?
Here we are.
But why? Here? I stared at Diana as she muttered a small incantation under her breath. In her hands formed a small vase with purple lilacs. She gently knelt down and placed them beside the grave.
I had to pay my respects to this man.
Why? Were you friends of his? Were you a friend of his? I needed to know. My voice turned nasal. Mine began screaming. Something wasn't right. Why did she know him? How did she know him? Was he dead? How did she know he was dead? There we go. What was the relationship? What was going on?
No, I wasn't a friend of his. I didn't even know him.
Then why are you giving him flowers? My mind began to screech louder in my head. What was it? Why? Diana, why are you giving him flowers?
You don't need to know. I highly doubt you knew this man.
Take a look at the last name, girlfriend. Damn it. Yes, I do. Diana stared wide-eyed at me, a mixture of fear and surprise mixed in her eyes. My heart began to squeeze tightly in my chest. Why was she looking at me like that?
How do you know him?
Answer my question.
How?
I said answer my question! I couldn't hold my voice. I needed to hear her answer, and I didn't want to hear anything else. Anything other than her answer would infuriate me. Diana looked down at the grave, letting out a small sigh. My heart tightened further. Answer me, I need the answer.
This man helped the boys come to the human world. He opened a bridge and let them through, before sealing it with a part of his life force.
Okay, yeah, I know that. There was more. I knew there was more. I remained silent as she took a breath.
I had come to visit their castle one day, and when they told me that the boys were gone, I became frantic. Without the contract marriage, the demon lord would have had the freedom to march on my kingdom and conquer it. I couldn't let that happen. So I tried to find a way here. I searched the castle during my brief visit, trying to find out where the boys went. I found it. This man left behind a small trace of his spell, small enough to be undetected by the inhabitants of the castle.
Diana looked at me, a look of pain on her face that made me already pained heart feel like it was punctured by needles.
Demon magic is best with consent, but takes more energy when forced. So, in a blind need, I recast the spell and used that man's life force to open the bridge once more and seal it completely when I walked through. I didn't know I was taking the rest of his life.
You killed my grandfather!
By the time the bridge closed, the man had already passed.
You killed my
He
grandfather.
was visiting someone in a nearby hospital, so when I left to find the boys, the staff had found him and tried to revive him. I didn't want to take his life. I thought he was a younger man. I didn't know he was as old as he was. It's my fault this man is dead.
I cannot believe.
But I needed to come to the human world, and he was my only chance to get close enough to track the boys down.
I feel no pity for you. I feel no pity. I feel none. Diana tensed up and stared at me. Her face was painted with regret and sadness, something not like her usual self. You killed my grandfather!
Your grandfather?
Uh-huh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't even know what to do. I want to punch this girl so bad. I don't even know what to do. I got a Skype message. There we go. James. Screw you, James. Oh, get her! Killed my grandfather. I'm gonna kill you. Rage erupted in my soul and I lunged for Diana, wanting to snap her neck. I feel like this was the wrong choice. She started all of this. She was the one who turned my world upside down. She was the reason for this chaos I was in. She would pay. Diana stepped back and forced me back with an invisible spell. I flew back and skidded across the grass, tumbling over my feet and landing on my back.
I didn't know I would kill him. I thought it was some teenager musing with magic. If I had known...
Shut up! This is all your fault! I wasn't listening. I couldn't listen to her anymore. I wanted revenge. I needed to be on anything else she could give me. I jumped up, recovering from her attack, and ran to her again. I was seeing red, and Diana had become my worst enemy.
I'm sorry.
You should be! Diana closed her eyes, and all of a sudden I was lifted into the air. I flailed, struggled against the invisible cloud I was in. I couldn't move my arms or legs, and Diana began to walk towards me.
I really am sorry.
Are you gonna kill me too? I didn't want to hear it. I began to scream and cry. I wanted her dead. I got something in my eye. Oh my goodness. I wanted my grandfather back. I wanted my normal life to return to me. No magic to hurt me. No magic to haunt my life. No energy to take away from the ones I loved. No more. Diana approached me and grabbed hold of my head, forcing me to stare at her face. I saw tears run down her cheeks and leaned in and kissed me. I could feel my energy rush through my body, and I could feel Diana using her magic to force it out of me. No! 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 I didn't want this. I tried to bite her, turn my head, anything. I couldn't move a single muscle, and I could feel my energy deplete from my body. My body became numb as I watched Diana pull away from me. Her eyes were full of regret and almost anguish.
I'm sorry.
You should be. And then my world went black. What the butts?
I know.
What the butts? I heard voices and tried to open my eyes, but I couldn't. I'm scared.
You don't need to remind me, Angel. I'm just doing my civil duty.
An angel? What was an angel doing here? Why was Diana talking to it?
Do what you need to do. I've already destroyed one life, and now I have to destroy another. All from my kingdom. Angel, do it now before I change my mind.
No!
I'm sorry.
No. Oh. Goodbye, everything I held dear. Within a mere breath, my body suddenly became light as a feather, and I became numb. My body flowed downwards into an empty black abyss as if I was drowning in waters. Is this going to turn into amnesia now? Oh, I never saw it coming. My mind became completely blank. I had no memories, no feeling, nothing. Great! I became a blank canvas, a body without a soul. Pure, innocent, ignorant. Okie dokie, so let's not try to kill her. Just run away. Need to leave, needed to go. I quickly turned and ran here, and Diana called me. But
Wait!
No! Cannot believe what just happened there. I ran and I didn't look back. I couldn't look back. She started all this. She was the one who turned my world up, blah. My grandfather away. I ran through the gates of the cemetery and through the streets to my house. This time the world was in slow motion. I was the one going in fast forward. I didn't care what was going on around me. I just needed to run. My heart began to freeze in my chest, pained by the feelings of needles and knives piercing through it. Tears were running down my face, but I knew where I was running. I ran through the front gates of my house and sprinted inside. I zipped up the stairs and ran to my room. I slammed the door behind me. I began to weep violently and leaned against the door and slid up to the ground, crying. My world was crumbling and I didn't like it. My world was broken apart and I didn't want it. All I could do, though, was cry. My heart denied me from thinking about everything else, anything else, whatever. I cried and I continued to cry. I let my heart empty of its pain with each tear that ran down my cheeks. Wee! My scream echoed through my room, bouncing around and reverberating in my ears. I didn't care if it hurt to hear it. I didn't care about anything more. All I cared about was crying. I curled into a ball and cried. Oh, this is sad! I didn't even know when I passed out. I didn't remember closing my eyes and letting darkness take me. The darkness was comforting, felt my sadness numb within it. There was no reality in the darkness to haunt me or hurt me. I wanted to stay within it forever. Jeez. However, my body forced me to open my eyes and I saw the room focus around me and I realized that I was staring at the ceiling. I was in bed under my covers. I hate you. I sat up and looked around, stopping to see Diana leaning against the balcony window, looking away from me. Major hiccup. Why was she here? Did she carry me to bed? I felt my anger wanting to speak out against Diana, but I noticed the puffiness around her visible eyes. Had she been crying? Seeing her bloodshot, puffy eye, alright, we can't see the other eye, made me fully aware of my own eyes and how dry they had become after crying. Rubbed my eyes and let out a shaky sigh.
I'm sorry.
You should be. I stared at Diana. My heart didn't want to hear it, but I let her speak.
I didn't want to come here in the first place. I only thought of bringing the boys back to protect my kingdom, so everything else became secondary. I didn't mean to take his life.
But you did.
I did. I can't ask for forgiveness, but I still am sorry. If I could turn back time, I would find another way.
You know, it's because of you that I met the boys.
Huh?
I looked at my blanket-covered lap. I remembered the funeral, the meeting with the boys. Everything came to me at once, and now I had the one puzzle piece that fit it all together. If my grandfather hadn't died, he'd still be living here, and I'd be the one taking care of the boys, and he'd be the one taking care of the boys instead of me. But he died and gave me his estate, so I came and met them for the first time. I looked at Diana, seeing her sad face. I could tell she really regretted her choice, and she was upset. I couldn't sense any deception in her. I guess I have to thank you for introducing me to them and to magic, since my grandfather couldn't do it himself anyway. Diana looked down, pressing her lips together and closing her eyes.
I need to take your memories now.
Really? You're gonna leave me with that? Really?
A deal's a deal. I've
Jerk.
filled my part and told you everything.
Jerk.
I had nothing left to tell you, and you can't keep those memories.
I really don't like you. I didn't speak. I watched Diana argued into the air about taking my memories. I felt like she was now doubting the deal, not wanting to take away the truth from me. Did I want her to? This was my chance to return ignorance to ignorance. I never remember what she took from my grandfather's life. I'd never remember everything she showed me and taught me. I'd return to normalcy. Don't. Dana stared at me, a look of almost despair on her face. I, however, kept my eyes to her. You took away my grandfather. What gives you the right to take my memories, too?
But I...
What gives you the right? I'm not done speaking. Dana shut her mouth, listening obediently. I needed to speak my mind. She had no right to take anything away. I knew the truth now, and that was all that mattered to me. Screw the rules. I deserve to remember everything. I was thrown into this mess because of you. No one has the right to take anything away from me. Diana took a step towards me. I was ready to snap at her. However, she gently leaned over and ran a hand over my head.
All right.
Really? What?
I won't take your memories.
Squee. I stared up at her in shock. Was she serious? Dana smiled at me and stood back up.
You're right. You deserve to know everything. It's the least I can do.
I felt almost joyful. She agreed with me. This was a huge deal. I still didn't forgive Diana, but it was better to know than to be left in the ignorance. Eventually I'd be able to move on. Until then, Diana was willing to stay and teach me the life my grandfather knew in redemption. It was something.
Head back to sleep and I'll teach you more in the morning. I'll stay a few more days until you know everything.
Squee. Watch her just take my memories in my sleep. Great! Something fell off, but I nodded, feeling exhaustion drift over me again. Was it natural? I didn't know. My head began to spin and I needed more rest. Diana gently laid me back down and moved hair from my face.
Rest.
I am. Go to sleep. As if from a spell, I closed my eyes and fell back into the unconscious darkness. My heart was healing and it would take time to heal. Thankfully, it had time now to heal and grow stronger. Diana obeyed my word and stayed with me. She owed me so much already and stayed with me too, for a good week. Oh, my stomach's growling so bad. Within that time frame, she not only taught me everything she could, but she also assisted me in learning some of my own hidden magic. I could barely believe it. I had demon magic floating through my veins, and I could use it at any time. If I had learnt about it, how to use my powers earlier, I would have been as strong as a demon. Woo! Dana explained that humans who learn magic attract demon energy and have potential to use some of it just like demons, but their full power can only be unlocked in the demon world. Being that my grandfather spent almost his whole life learning about demon magic, his energy carried through my father, then to me. When my dad felt my grandfather, his energy diminished. Felt. But when I came to the home, mine began to grow. According to Diana, I shouldn't have much energy as I have. I guess I was lucky. Everything was fascinating. I felt waves of excitement and energy run through my body. I was aware of the energy I held and the magic around me. I could even sense Diana's energy, as powerful as it was. One night, however, I slept. Diana began to waver.
What? am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? I'm starving right now. I heard Diana mutter, waking me from my sleep. I opened my eyes and peeked over my cover to see Diana look out my window. She looked tired and restless.
I need to get the boys and return home. My kingdom is in danger. Maybe I should call an angel.
Don't you dare! We're not doing that again! My heart froze. She could call an angel, and it would baptize me and make me forget everything. I panicked, but I heard Diana
But
sigh.
she makes sense. Why should I marry to protect my kingdom? I should be able to... Well, would I? Me against the Demon Lord's entire army. I'm not that strong.
I slowly sat up, looking to Diana. Still, she seemed only to focus her attention out the window and phased of my rousing.
She's strong, though. The magic in her veins would win me this war. But I can't take her magic. I care for her too much. But she's just a human. But...
You're more than an itty-bitty human. Diana sighed and opened the window.
I need to leave. I have to fight him on my own. I'll use the rest of my energy to get back, and hopefully recover when I get there. I hope he hasn't already attacked, or is ready for me.
Diana stepped out of the window and stood on the balcony. She was really going to leave? What about me? Was she going to leave? What about teaching me everything? My curiosity was peaking again and I needed her here. I didn't know what drew me to her, but I quickly rushed out of bed and ran to the balcony. Hold your horses! Hello. Diana turned around and stared at me in surprise. However, she tightened her hands into fists and turned back around.
Go back to bed. I need to go.
But you...
I need to go. I'll be back someday. But I need to protect my kingdom. Without the boys, he'll attack at any time. And I need to prepare myself instead of waste my time here.
I couldn't believe it. She was really wanting to leave. I overheard her. She was confident about winning. She wasn't confident about winning. Jesus. She probably couldn't if he was as powerful as she claimed. I'd never see her again.
Take care of those memories while I'm gone. You need to keep them secret at all costs. If angels find you, they'll...
Oh, I know. Been through it. Take me with you. Really? Cool. Couldn't believe what came out of my mouth. Diana turned to me, also surprised at my words. I couldn't deny myself. I needed to fill my curiosity. This curiosity. And if Diana was going, I was going with her. If I was with her, maybe she could win her fight and then come back to the human world with me. An adventure. My heart felt giddy for some reason what? Take me with you. I overheard you. I have the power to help you win the war. I'll help you, and then you'll come back with me to teach me everything.
But I don't deserve your help.
I demand it as a deal, demon. Diana straightened up, staring at me in disbelief. I almost couldn't recognize my own voice. Me neither. Holy crap, Sexto, calm down. In redemption for my grandfather's life, you'll take me with you and teach me everything. I will then win your war, and in return you will return with me to the human world to continue teaching me until I have learned everything. Diana stared. I couldn't tell what was going in her mind. Okay. Was she angry, sad, surprised? As Diana closed her eyes and smiled, I felt a wave of relief wash over me.
A tongue of ice, even when faced with danger.
Damn right! Diana then looked at me and held out her hand.
Come then. Help me open a portal, and I'll take you with me.
I nodded and placed my hand in Diana's. For some reason, it felt nice to touch her hand like this. She was going to take me on an adventure! I could never forget. Giggity! Oh. Giggity. You know what? I'm kind of happy. Look at that moon, though. She gently pulled me into her, and both of us began to float towards the night sky. Oh, well, that's special. Diana's embrace seemed safe, and I felt better being in it than out of it. Sorry, grandfather. Diana looked down at me and ran a hand over my cheek.
You don't know how much this means to me.
Neither do I, apparently. I nuzzled into Diana's hand and closed my eyes. Diana gently lowered her hands to my waist and staring down at me as I opened my eyes.
You intrigue me.
I giggled. You mean seduce me? Hey! Diana chuckled and grinned at me. Say it! Say it!
Yes. You seduce me.
Yes! I smiled before gently reaching up and kissing Diana softly. She stared, surprised, before closing her eyes and gently returning my kiss. There was no pull of energy, nor warm fuzzy and enthrallment. It was a simple kiss. It was one of the kiss I felt was perfect to start my adventure with. The sky began to melt into darkness, and Diana and I kissed each other. Wow! Ha! It wasn't heated or passionate, yet the kiss spoke many languages to me. Diana liked me and came to care just a little more for me. Girl, you're getting all the demons. Was this the start of something? Maybe it was too early to tell. Maybe we find romance in the demon world. Maybe not. I still had 100 battles to face, 1,000 memories to make, a million stories to write. Isn't that a lyric in the ending song? However, this was the change I needed in my life. And that was my happily ever after. Adventure! Woo! You're gonna skip, so I'm not even gonna bother with you. Woo! Hey, we did it! Guys, we did it! Where am I? Okay. Yay, Diana's done! Whee! So, now we just gotta do Andrew. Hey, Andrew. Andrew, I don't know if I'm gonna do Mika, Naomi, and Suzu. I don't think I am. I think I'm just gonna finish up with Andrew and we'll be done. Oh, not that though, but there's a bonus. There's a bonus we gotta do once we're finished with Andrew. If I can ever get there. The bonus right here. We'll get there. See you guys next time.